Hello and welcome to tonight's show.
And hello and welcome to episode 228 of On the Bench, the podcast for scale modelers by scale modelers, all about scale models. This episode is being brought to you by our latest Patreon supporter, Michael Lumley. You too can be just like this fine gentleman and help support the show. Simply go to www.patreon.com/onthebench and pledge any amount from as little as $1 per week. Your contributions help with our hosting and production costs and are greatly appreciated by the team. And don't forget that each Patreon paid subscriber gets an OTB sticker and of course goes into the wonderful Patreon Wheel of Fortune. We're also very proud to be supported by the Scale Model Supply. So let's hear what Scott has to say.
Are you looking for top quality paints for your next project? Then look no further than the Scale Modeler Supply. Hi, I'm Scott, and as a passionate modeler myself, I've spent years creating the SMS product range, designing them specifically with a scale modeler in mind. We've worked extensively to develop our acrylic lacquer paint range to not only be airbrush ready straight out of the bottle, but also to be very easy to use so that anyone of any skill level can create professional results with minimal effort. Just give the bottle a good shake, pour into your airbrush and spray at 15 psi. So dive into your next project with confidence, knowing that you're backed by one of the finest hobby paints on the market. Head over to our website, scalemodeler.com.au, to check out our full range and to find your closest retailer.
And hello and welcome to the show. And in the studio, I've got Ian.
G'day Dave, g'day Julian, g'day everyone else.
You want us to do that again, or are you right with that?
Yeah.
Julian, how are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm good.
How have we been, gentlemen?
Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah.
Building anything?
No.
Julian?
I'm working on the Aston Martin still.
Yes.
Cool.
It's going a bit slow because I've...
Bond. James Bond.
Yeah, well, I made some mistakes.
Oh. I've done like
Yeah,
you.
so I went to polish out the... the honey scoop headlights type thing, which are actually, when you finish the model, they're behind like a lens.
Yes.
And when I was in there polishing, I wasn't paying attention. I stayed there too long on both of them, and
Oh, burnt through.
yeah, kind of, yeah.
Ooh.
So I've got to repaint that bit, and then I'm going to start painting a whole bunch of things, glossy black and then chrome, and then I've got some windowsill sort of issues to deal with that I hadn't foreseen.
Right.
If I'd foreseen it back when I was actually doing, the sort of clean up and construction of the body, it would have been far easier. But now that I've already painted everything, bit trickier to deal with. So I've pondered on it a bit, and I've got a solution.
Good.
Yeah. So we'll see how we go.
Oh, that's a nasty cough you got there.
Sorry, that got me off. Caught me off guard. I did have to, because it's a snap together kind of kit. The side windows have got like these little plastic tabs, and so I've had to remove those and then polish them out.
Right, yeah.
Because you can see it. It's on the actual surface of the window.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like on the inside, but it's clear window,
Yeah,
so
that's right. You'll be able
you can
to
see it. Yeah. So I've had to cut those off, sand it with like increasingly higher grits of sandpaper, and then polish it out.
That always scares me doing polishing canopies and
clear
stuff.
Yeah.
I've got a Airfix Gannet that's in my stash, and the only reason I haven't started that is because of that. There's a seam right down you got to polish out, and it sort of put me off.
It's when you've done as much polishing as I have, it's really no big deal.
Yeah, it probably isn't, but for someone like me who's sort of never done it before, it's quite daunting.
Okay.
Because you gotta cut back the seam, and I guess you start with 800 grit first, and then sort of work all your way up.
800's a good place to start. Yeah.
But you want to do it in such a way that you're not doing the whole canopy. You just got to do that little section.
No. I mean, yeah. But see, the thing is, like, you want to, as you go up in grit, you want to make sure that you fully covered the previous sanding. So generally speaking, like you start at 800 and as target as you want it to be, once you go up to say 2000 grit, you want to get all of it. Yeah. So you're inevitably
uniform.
dealing with a larger surface area than you started with, and then it just keeps on getting broader.
So in my mind, I've attempted to plan it out. So I'd look at doing 800 first, then go to 1,000, then do 1,200, 1,500,
2,000.
2,000.
You don't need that many steps.
Don't you?
No.
Really?
Yeah, I mean 800, and then I would go to maybe 2,000.
Straight from 800 to 2,000.
Yeah, that's easy. That's an easier one to do because like those kind of grit, that area is much less noticeable, right? Then you get to you might just need to do it for a bit longer, right? For example, and then you go from say 2,000 to 6 to maybe 8,000. Yeah. Because like, those are the two, like with my polishing cloths, those are the two that I mainly use, 6,000 and 8,000.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you use a compound at the end to sort of just help, or you just...
Yeah, well, past 8,000, I would just use my polishing wheel and some compound on it.
And with doing aircraft canopies, pack it with blue tack. I've seen too many people where they start polishing and just crack the canopy.
I'm pretty sure with the Airfix one, the Gannet, it's on the outside, so I'd imagine it'd be 10 times tougher if it was on the inside.
Well, it's not just that toughness. It's you want to make that as solid as possible. So when you're sanding, you're not accidentally cracking it or snapping it in half. Like you see a lot of people.
Are you sure it's only on one side? Because usually it's on both.
I feel like it's only on the outside.
You'll find out once you've polished it anyway.
Yeah, I know.
If it's still there, then you know it's on the inside.
Heck, the box is just in this. I should open it up and have a look. But that's the only thing that stopped me from building it so far. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a thing to deal with.
Plus, it's an ugly aeroplane anyway.
Oh, no, it's gorgeous. The ugliness makes it beautiful. Yeah. It's a beauty in its ugliness.
Yeah, you're the sort of person who gets their kicks on pre-war French aircraft.
Yes, that's true.
But I mean, like, once you've got the polishing wheel on it, easy peasy.
So the polishing wheel goes into like a Dremel and.
Oh yeah, I just use one of those little tiny electric USB powered ones.
And what is the polishing wheel? Is it just like sheep?
I'll just give you one next time.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just one of those cotton, white fluffy ones.
And you can't go too hard and burn the plastic.
Maybe there's a way, but as long as you got like polishing compound doing the work,
okay.
And you don't hold it in one spot for like
super long. And you don't apply pressure. You let the tool do the work.
Yeah, I get that. And because I've got some Tamiya polishing compound, but I think there's two different types. I'm not sure.
Yeah, there's
also like the big difference between like these little tiny pen rotary tools and say a Dremel type thing is the Dremel's got like huge amounts of power behind it, right? Whereas these little electric things, like if you press it too hard into whatever you're trying to polish,
it stops.
It just grinds to a halt. You can feel it slowing down. So you're like, it's pretty easy to use without doing any real damage.
Yep. I've got one of those.
Very forgiving.
I've got one of those little display reciprocating sanding things.
Okay.
No, don't use that. No. Okay. All right.
No.
Don't
worry about it.
Okay.
Besides, you're working on a curved surface. So don't do that.
Yeah, I did use a flat spot, wouldn't I, if I wasn't careful?
Yep. Yeah. I have also like sanding sponges type stuff, and I'll just cut off a piece. And
love my sanding sponges. Love them.
Yeah. I doing car type stuff, and I have to be very mindful of the maintaining a uniformal curve. Right. So even though those are useful, I can't rely on them too much because you'll take off high spots and low spots at the same time.
Okay.
And if you want to maintain, like for example, when I was filling these those areas on this Aston Martin, I had to sort of take off the excess putty and things like that and bring it back to the proper curve without removing stuff that didn't need to be removed.
Yes.
So I actually found that files were great at narrowing that gap.
Yes, I understand what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, because you need a flat, a properly flat surface to maintain the
curvature.
Because it's a curvature across one plane.
Yep.
From the left side to the right side, but down the center line, it's a flat plane.
Yeah.
So I needed to maintain that, and
flat plane. Yeah.
yeah. Otherwise, you end up with like this sort of lumpy, vague sort of undulating surface. It doesn't look right once you've got high gloss on it.
I love my Infini sanding sponges. I reckon they're great.
Yeah, I use them. So I've got like the sanding sponges that are like a square,
yes,
like a rectangle. But I've also got like the halfway between that and a sanding stick.
Yeah, I've got both of them, and
those are really good.
With the flat sponges, I'll cut squares off and I'll write on the back of them with a text of what grip they are.
Yeah, I'll even like cut off a piece and then I'll hold it with a pair of tweezers.
Oh, really?
To get into areas. Yeah.
I never thought of using that technique before. That's interesting.
Yeah, because like the Tamiya tweezers that I prefer to use, the angled tweezers.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it means you can hold with the angled part that small narrow piece of sanding sponge that you've cut off. You can hold that with that angled part and then get it into around corners and all sorts of things.
Oh, geez, learn something new every day.
There you go, Dave.
There you go.
It's a niche use, and like I used it a lot on when I've been cleaning up parts of that MAK lunar diver.
Yes.
Because that's got a lot of little holes and things like that.
Does, yes.
Little where the body of it essentially loops back on itself, and you've got seam lines down those holes that you got to clean up, and you can see it, but how do you get to it?
Yes.
So these are
the
things that I've been sort of trying to figure out, and why that project's been sort of on the back burner.
Yep.
Speaking of projects on the back burner, I've actually done a little bit of progress with the Musaru Cup.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
I've added some yellow to it now.
Oh, cool.
But I ought to go back and clean up because my masking wasn't as on point as it should have been.
Okay.
So I'll go back and do a little bit of work and clean that up. And
did it bleed or something? Or?
Yeah, the yellow stripe I did on one of the doors, it's a bit sort of rough, so I've got to go and just knock it down a bit with some 1,000 sanding stuff and maybe go back over and put some more green on some parts that maybe got a little bit of overspray. I don't know why. I normally my masking is on point.
Well, because it's yellow.
Yeah.
So with yellow, you need a lot more paint to get sufficient coverage.
I think that's what I did. Yeah.
Did you use a white base first?
No, just on top of the green.
I always use a white base with yellow.
Yeah, but I did lots of light coats. I went lots of light.
But you'll
this is
find
me using a
you'll
friggin'
find
sound
with
effects.
a white base you'll have to use a lot less paint.
Yeah, or pink's another one I believe with yellow as well. So, but
Pink works better with red.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what I was going to do, so it is what it is.
That's true.
It is.
But in any case, so you've had to lay quite a bit of paint on there, and it's bled through.
So I've got to knock that back down and fix it up.
Yeah.
A bit.
So I mean, these things happen,
And I've got the decals have arrived, so I'm ready to put the decals on now. So
also, yellow is one of those colours where I'll always paint it first.
If I had have known what I was doing, I would have.
Yeah.
But I didn't know which way it was going to take me, so. And also I've pulled out a rocket, a 144th scale Vostok rocket, and started that because.
What brand's that?
Some brand that won't be named on the show.
Oh, you're not doing that. Oh, God.
And no, it's not.
Masochist.
It's not the Mac. It's a different brand. But
okay.
For reasons that are happening on the world stage, we won't sort of name the particular brand, but it happened to be in my stash, and I figured I'd build it. And I just needed something to take me away from doing the Musaru Cup because it's just got to the point where I didn't even want to go into my build room and sit down at the bench, and I go, this is crazy. I've got to break this cycle. So
yes, true.
Well, I'll come over and I'll have a look and.
No, because I'll feel your eyes, your judging eyes looking at me.
I am not being judgmental. I'm being very accommodating. Because if I can help you get over your, writer's block, so to speak, with it.
I'm just about there now. Once I've got this yellow thing sorted out, I reckon I'm ready to move forward, and I just get the headlights and the tail lights done, and then bang, I'm just going to slam them together and put the decals on, and I'm right to go. So, yeah. Although, I do need to ask you a question about a certain point of it. But anyway, we'll get to that. I'll show you after the show. I'll take you in the room and see what you think.
We'll have a look.
Listener mail. We got quite a bit of listener mail in this week, which is really, really good.
Oh, cool.
Let's start off with the first one. Comes from Lee Edmonds, who writes in, Dear Benchers, due to other things, I've gotten behind in listening to your entertaining podcasts and podcasts in general. However, today was absolutely free, so I spent the entire day almost doing nothing but modelling. It's very relaxing. In this happy state, I've listened to 3 of your most recent podcasts in a row and enjoyed them. No, I don't have anything special to say, just that I'm still enjoying what you guys do after all these episodes. During one of those episodes, somebody said something that made me think that I should send a photo in of what I've been working on. I can't remember what it was that made me think to do this. Must be having Dave's memory problems.
Yep.
But here's a photo anyhow. They are an Airbus A340 500 and A340 600 conversions from the Revell A340 300 with added fuselage plugs from donor kits and aftermarket wings and engines. I've included the old MPM Ryan FR that I'm decaling because I do remember you deciding that on a World War II US Navy model you'd prefer the mid-war 3 colour scheme rather than the late war deep sea blue scheme. You're wrong, of course, and here's the proof. Best colour ever painted onto an aircraft. Naturally, the paint is SMS, which is just the right tone and sheen to make the model look great, even though I've made it. Now I'm going to catch up on what the geeks are up to. All the best from Lee. And he sent us a really lovely picture of what he's talking about. And for some reason, there we go. We can open it up.
Yeah, it does look sexy in the overall dark blue.
It does. Now, back to his civilian aircraft.
That's a lot of work he's put in.
Yeah, I know. And I do have that Royal Australian Air Force Poseidon that I've got to build at some point as well. So,
bit of inspiration there, Dave.
I'd like to think that I can sort of crack onto that in the new year. So we'll wait and see. But I haven't decided whether I'm going to have it in flight or not. But I'm always impressed by the civilian aircraft guys and what they do.
They know to make a clean model.
Yeah, that's right as well. You got to love them for that. Thanks very much, Lee. Really appreciate you writing in. Adam Greenwald writes in, Hi, Dave, Ian and Julian. I'm still listening and enjoying the pod. I couldn't help feeling Ian sounded really down on the last episode. I just want to say take care of yourselves and better times will come. What you do as podcasters brings a lot of companionship in the lives of people you probably never met, and it is a really positive gift to the world. Just take care, Ian. We do appreciate what you do. There you go.
Thanks, Adam. Appreciate it, mate.
And it's nice for somebody to reach out and let us know that. And I just need to sort of say that Adam Green is mainly a submarine and rocket builder. Well
cool
done,
stuff.
That man. Well done. And it's always good to, because, I mean, we sit here in the room and we don't see our audience as such, do we? So you don't know whether you're talking to one person or a couple of hundred or
Very
a couple
true.
of thousand.
Yep.
So it's good getting feedback like this.
Appreciate it, mate.
Jason Miller writes in, G'day team, just sitting listening to the latest episode while I try and catch up on orders and kit instructions. What a great episode, I must say. If Rob is looking to do anything Aussie, send him my way. Mm-hmm. However, and there is always a however, with this sort of discussion you are having. Oh dear Julian, at the 36-minute 20-second mark, you said, not very likely to see, a battle-worn looking Abrams. You're going to see like a curated one, etc., etc. Mate, dude, buddy, add Australian or Ukrainian to that and try and search again.
I'm not saying they don't exist. It's just like if you have to add modifiers to make to get the results you want, right? That's fine. But when you just type in Abrams, M1 Abrams, that's not what you get.
Well, he's saying do some research, and he's actually attached an image from 2012 from an Aussie M1A1 AIM in its natural environment doing what they do. The same image caused massive reaction on the modelling page years ago when I posted it there. The mud, the dust, the damage to the tank from bush bashing, scratches, stowage, all the interesting stuff a good modeller needs to see. See that you said good modeller, Julian? Also add a photo.
That's going to come back and bite you on the bum. What?
Also added a photo of our brand spanking new M1A2 SEP version 3. Again, mud, dust, stowage, etc. I sold more of my original M1 kits in 1 week after posting that image than I had in 6 months prior, just from that one photo from 2012. Parade tanks, let me say it again. Parade pretty tanks are nice, but bashed up tanks look and sell better.
Yep.
As one of my old crew commanders used to say, if you're not rubbing trees, you're not driving hard enough. The challenge for modelers who want to do anything Australian armour, stretching back as far as you want to go, or figures, is that for accuracy, the base kit, the paints, and weathering have to be customised, i.e. Shoalwater Bay, which is a training area in Australia, is a very different environment to that of Pucka. It's very true. Anyway, rant over. Keep up the good work, and I will catch you all again one day. And that's from our good mate Jason at Arms Core Models. And as I said, he sent us 2 photos. One is out on the range with the tank all scratched up and bashed
look really
around.
Cool, doesn't it?
It does look really cool, actually. And the other one is in a urban environment in one of our training areas. And it's a lot cleaner, I want to say.
Yeah, but not parade ground clean.
No, not at all.
No.
But the one in the and I'm assuming that's Shoalwater Bay. That one he sent. It looks really good.
Yeah,
it looks
it's
really
a great photo.
If it wasn't for that red flag, which designates that it's on a range on top of the turret, you'd swear that's actually from a battlefield somewhere around the world. Mm. And just the interesting things in this particular photo, and I'll post these photos on our Facebook page. You've got the snap trees that the tank is sitting beside and all that. So it looks really, really
just
cool.
all the scratches down the skirting too.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing.
Well, some of the skirting even missing.
What I meant by that is like say that you type in Corvette, right? You're going to get a whole bunch of pictures of fairly clean Corvettes.
Yep.
Does it mean that there are no photos of rusty, broken down Corvettes? Of course not.
You just got to expand your search.
Yes, but that's not typically how you see them. Mm. Likewise, if you were to type in, German tank in Panzer Grey, most of those pictures are going to be in the field. There's not that many of them that are in colour showing the original Panzer Grey as it was back in the day, nice and clean.
Yep.
That's very true.
There's what's typical and there's what's not typically seen,
Yep.
That's
true. And then he's got a little addendum that he also sent us. This is again still from Jason Miller. And one last thing, mate. I too have had a chunk cut out of my face. It makes us look weathered and cool. So that's our good mate Jason. And please go to the Facebook page and check out Arms Core Models. It's a page that is set up, and he does aftermarket stuff, particularly for Australian subjects, armour subjects, and we highly recommend. He does fantastic work, and
resin. Lots of 3D printed resin there.
Yep.
You can't not build an Aussie subject without going and checking out what he's got there. Next one comes from Jared Wheeler, who writes, "Hi guys, long time listener, first time mailer. I've been catching up on some episodes and was excited to find out that Nationals will be in Fort Wayne. I'm a local and hope to meet the Podfather at the show." That's from Jared Wheeler. Well, yes, Jared, I will be going to Fort Wayne, and make sure you pop out and say good day. I'll be the only one.
What state is it in?
Indiana. Fort Wayne, Indiana. Slap bang in the, I want to say slap bang in the middle of the US. It's kind of in the middle of the US. But,
Indiana?
Yeah.
Isn't it like more East Coast?
No.
Indiana? not East Coast, like on the water, but I mean, it's one of those eastern
got no
states.
water around it at all.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It's one of the eastern states is what I mean. It's on the eastern side. It's not in the...
Well, all I know
it's not close to the California side, is it?
Well, it's about 4 hours drive from Kentucky, from Louisville, Kentucky. So it's not that... It's nowhere near the East Coast or the West Coast, for that matter. You go have a look on your little...
The state of Indiana. Oh, it's south of Chicago. I see where it is.
So it's in the middle. Central Time, USA.
It's on the eastern half.
Oh, rock and roller. Come on. Thanks, Jared. Looking forward to seeing you there, mate. Last but not least, Drew Savage writes in, "G'day, gents. It's that time of year again to start the publicity tour for our annual contest, SilverCon. The flyer with the QR code and website is attached. SilverCon 2026 will take place on Saturday, May the 16th. God, you're getting in early, Drew. Saturday, May the 16th, 2026, at the Town and Country Lutheran Church, which is at 4049 Marconi Avenue in Sacramento, California. Doors open at 9 a.m. with registration for the contest ending at noon, as judging starts shortly afterwards. We are rolling out a new streamlined registration for 2026, so keep your eyes on our website for details, and the website is www.sacramento-model-club.org. The contest will be an IPMS style with 1, 2, 3 format, 50 plus categories with several special 50 categories in one day to judge. God.
Oh.
50 categories with one special categories, including standalone categories for those under 18 years and old. The theme for SilverCon 2026 is heavy metal, the best use of natural metal finish. There's going to be 2 raffles during the day. Look out. One at 11 a.m. and one at 2 p.m. And we hope to do awards in the 3:30 range, getting everyone back on the road by 4 p.m. God, you guys are doing a lot in one day. Random dad jokes throughout the day over the PA system, and the room will be wall-to-wall with vendors, literally, so bring some cash. Make sure you bring cash. Thanks very much for getting the word out, benches. Really appreciate that. That's from Drew Savage, president of IPMS Silver Wings. So go and check them out.
Yes, if you're in the area, definitely go.
Yeah, absolutely. Sounds like a great weekend, so mark that in your calendars, May 16th. That's it for listener mail. You too can send us an email. Simply write to onthebench64@gmail.com. We love seeing what you've got to say. Even if just reaching out to say hi, we really appreciate it. And, of course, if you've got anything, any stones you want to throw at Julian, please send them through. I love reading them out. I reckon it's brilliant.
Not just Julian, to any of us.
No, not me.
Yeah.
No.
Mr. One Aspect Modeler.
Oh, what do you mean, Mr. One Aspect Model? Hey, listen, dude. I've done ships, aircraft, real space, armour.
He'll do anything that involves...
figures. I've done a figure. I've done science fiction.
You've done a figure?
Yes. We did those figures together, remember? The little figurine we did.
Julie and I look at each other and just go, yep.
Well, this will impress you. So the Corner Cutters Club, which we're going to be talking about when we briefly going to touch on that when we talk to our good mate Clayton soon. Their next group build is figures. You're going to do 2 figures.
What figures?
Well, this is a secret because I'm doing something very special and different. And I'm doing 2 figures, and it's going to be really cool.
Is it going to have Gucci badges on it like your last one?
Here's the weird thing, because Clayton is also interested about me doing figures. I don't believe he thinks that I can. But the idea, you won't believe this. It sounds really, really, really sort of, out there. But the idea came to me in a dream.
A fever dream?
No, you should look at these 2 guys' faces. I'm serious. I had this dream and I woke up and thought,
look, Dave,
that's a great idea.
Can I be frank, Dave?
Sure.
We don't think very highly of your ability to do figures.
To be honest, yeah. Not wanting to be rude, but you suck.
Well, hang on.
It's not that he sucks. It's that he dodges.
He phones it in.
He'll do anything to avoid picking up a paintbrush. Right?
I think he's avoiding to actually do faces.
Hey,
your silence incriminates you, Dave.
when we did Space Marines, I chose to take have my figure without a helmet on.
But Space Marines look cooler with the helmets on. It's
Not
whole.
really.
It's a whole shtick of being a Space
I don't
Marine.
care if he did
Still a figure.
did it with the helmet on or not. Part of the figure painting thing is that you should be using a paintbrush at least for some parts of it.
Yes.
No one cares if you base coat it, right? But there should be details that you brush paint.
Correct.
Right?
I did.
No, you didn't.
I
You
did.
basically
No.
You basically just chromed the whole model.
Negative, Ghost Rider. I used different shades of metallizers, and some of the wires that came out, I hand painted them on his backpack. I think I hand painted them red, if I remember correctly. And don't forget, there's also the wash that I put over it as well, which was you had to use like a little brush to do that.
Look, you've clearly dodged the whole point of the
Yes.
exercise.
Well, you wait and see this one I'm doing for the Corner Cutters group build. You're going to be
That's why we're
blown away.
That's why we're going to be interested in
Yes,
what
very.
happens, in what transpires.
Yes.
But we don't have very high hopes.
And I said the idea came to me in a dream. I swear on
Because like a Space Marine is effectively like a walking tank, and you can paint it like a vehicle, which you did. But when you're dealing with real figures on real humanoid figures, you won't have anywhere to hide. You're going to have to pick up that paintbrush, and it's going to be very interesting when you do.
well, the Corner Cutters group build is you're going to do two figures that are interacting with each other.
I think I know which part is the corner that he'll cut.
No. You have
Poor
little
Dave,
faith.
he's copping it today.
You have little. Yes.
Look,
I'm going to stop giving you guys pancakes because
listen.
clearly the sugar high.
Yes,
is really,
ye of your little faith. Yeah, that's the whole point. We don't have a whole lot of faith in your ability to do figures, right? I would say that your attitude to doing figures is about the same as your attitude to doing cars.
Yeah. Pretty much.
That's a long stretch.
I'm serious. That is how I see it, is what I'm saying, right? Your lack of interest in those subjects.
Well, it's partially right because I see people every day and interact with people every day. So why the hell do you want to model them? It's the same as driving a car. I drive a car every day. Why do I want to make a model of one? You know what I mean?
I don't mind doing figures, but I don't like doing them either. But I do understand that they're a necessary thing. Like it's been a while since I built an armor model, but all the very last ones that I did all had figures on them. I made it my thing to always put figures
with your armor kits
on your armor kits because they just bring it to a whole nother level. No matter, even if your figures are pretty bad, right? And you can just, as long as they don't look shiny, right? That's a key point. Don't let them be shiny.
This one won't be shiny.
Yeah. Because I see some shiny figures out there, or the ones with the worst, the ones with the shell shocked eyes,
or the googly eyes.
Yeah, the googly eyes.
Yeah, the 1,000 yards there, the PTSD look in their eyes. Because they painted the white of the eyes actually white instead of some off-white color,
like a pinkish white.
Yeah. Like seriously, if you can't paint eyes and you're not confident with painting eyes, don't paint the eyes. Just paint the face flesh and throw a brown wash over the whole thing. It's fine. It's fine.
Depends what
But
scale you're working in.
you can do a figure without actually painting the face.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Because what if the figure's looking away from you or doing something else? You'll be very impressed with the concept I've come up with.
okay. I'll reserve judgment. Just know that
We will be critical.
I'd expect nothing less from you two.
Well, it's not so much critical. I mean, it's like your former approach to figures, right, has set our expectations pretty low.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying. So you have a great opportunity to rise above those expectations.
Prove us wrong, Dave.
You could build something very, very average at this point, as far as a figure goes, and we would be quite impressed.
Well,
The question is, are you even going to do that?
you'll just have to wait and see.
That's true.
Just have to
That's
wait and
true.
see.
We'll keep our
You going to spin this wheel or?
Well, speaking of impressed, I'm always impressed by our wonderful Patreon supporters. And, of course, all of our Patreon supporters get an OTB sticker, and they go into this wonderful draw that we have, which is called the Patreon Wheel of Fortune. And we're going to be giving away a T-shirt. So let's spin the wheel and see who the lucky winner is. And the winner is Philippe Lafreniere. I think I spelled that right. I pronounced that right.
Well, you're better at French than most of
Lafreniere.
us.
Lafreniere. Philippe. You know, I'll be sending an email, Philippe, and finding out what your shirt size is and organise to get that sent out to you. So,
congratulations.
Yes, well done. And of course, don't forget, all of our wonderful Patreon supporters go into the wonderful Wheel of Fortune for our Patreon supporters. So, very good. All right, let's have a very short break, and then we're going to have a chat with our good friend Clayton Ockerby.
Sounds good.
Unfortunately, we have come to that low point in after 228 episodes where we have to get Clayton Ockerby back on the show again. Yes, we're scraping the bottom of the barrel, listeners, but fear not, the next show will be much better. No, it won't. How you going, Clayton?
I'm excellent, thanks, Dave. Yeah, I was wondering who pulled out for me to call up.
We had some random guy off the street who we were going to get in, and he said, no, he can't make it, so I guess we had to go a bit deeper.
Like I said to you in Canberra, I'm always happy to be the fill-in. Always a pleasure to speak to you guys. So
Great.
I appreciate the call up.
Great to have you on board anyway.
Well, you're not actually a fill-in because we're actually going to be talking today, and the whole reason for getting Clayton on the show is that last episode we were talking about armour, and I wanted to keep the theme going with this episode, but dive a bit more deeper into how you sort of plan and work out how you're going to mount your completed armour model on a base and composition and all that. And having watched many of or all of Clayton's videos, you seem to come to, you really sort of, I don't want to say you do it in a sort of, highbrow sort of way, but you've got a real sort of methodical way, I think, that it comes across, but not just the way you place the model on the stand, but how you actually also do the stand as well. You've got, it's very refreshing to see, because I that's one of the things I struggle with. I just get a tank and I put it on the plank, and an aircraft sort of just sits by itself, and a ship just sits by itself. I don't sort of take that extra step. And as I've been getting older and wiser, I'm starting to realise that I'm only really showing half of the model. I'm not sort of showing it off to its best by doing that.
Yeah, fair. This is going to be a little bit of a Wizard of Oz moment for you guys, but yeah, in terms of me planning that stuff, it's never planned. I get too excited with the build, and I'll end up building the model, the tank, and literally the base thing just evolves. But yeah, it's you say I'm methodical with all this sort of stuff, but I think what you're talking about is the final presentation with the graphic and whatnot and the wrap around it. And,
yeah, exactly right.
So I guess I'm lucky that I come from a graphic and signage background, so that's kind of ingrained in my way of thinking anyway. And I like to present things in a polished way. So, but yeah, in terms of planning that out, that's literally just something that evolves at the end. It's like, I'd better put this on a base of some description, and kind of just, yeah, it's really not that well thought out. It's something I actually want to improve on. So it's funny you bring that up. That's going to be one of my New Year's resolutions, if you like, is to think more about what the end is going to look like rather than letting it evolve, like, in terms of building a model, getting the base sorted before I go into the painting side of things. And it's something I can definitely improve on, that's for sure.
But when you say that, I mean, it screams at you as you walk around at a model show. You can see one that works, but you can see one that doesn't work. So What's that difference between the two? I mean, there's something about how not you just personally, but the guys who sort of are in the sort of, I want to say top echelon. They're at the, well, I guess they're at the top.
Well, I mean, your eye would naturally sort of move across the tables and go, okay, these are the ones that I need to pay attention to, and these are the ones that are sort of not really in the contention, right?
Yeah.
I think it's a question of dead space, and I think it's a question of balance, composition, and dead space. The ones that don't tend to work so well are the ones that have got a lot of dead space.
So let's really sort of break that down and enunciate it a bit more for the listeners by what you mean by sort of dead space.
Well, I'm not sure if you noticed, but a lot of my bases now I'm doing on circles, or irregular shapes. So like a dead space, this is why I don't like presenting them on rectangular bases or square bases, because you've got the four corners of the rectangle that you
need to fill.
You've got to fit. Well, yeah, you don't have to fill it, but if you don't fill it, it's like there's nothing going on there, and then you shouldn't just be filling it for the sake of filling it. And that's why I like to work on that circular sort of format. Or if I am using anything with angles, I will like fillet corners and things off just to make the scene as compact as I can.
Yeah, I mean, like the circular base is like you've put a spotlight on this situation.
Correct.
Whereas the square, you're sort of like, well, these areas need to be filled, so I'm going to fill them, but try and make the viewer not think that I just filled them.
It's a tough one. I mean, the rectangular bases are sort of the easier ones to do because they're easier to buy, like a picture frame or an award plaque base. I used to use those a lot, and that's not to say they can't work or don't work, because they absolutely do. It's just about picking an appropriate size, and then obviously, filling the spaces without being unnecessary, if you like.
Is that to say, like, if you like doing a vignette, it's best to use a round base, but if you're doing like a diorama, it's okay to use a squarish or rectangular base?
I don't think there is a best, and I don't think there is an okay. I don't think there's actually an answer for that, because it's really subject dependent and what you're looking for. I like the round bases because they fit in the display cabinet better as well.
Yes.
Because you're cutting out all that dead space, and obviously you can just fit more in. But like Julian said, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like with that circular base, like the whole thing evolves when you've got, you can look at it from all angles, and you're not sort of defined to be looking at it from the front.
Well, the circular base demands that you look at it from all angles, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's right. So I think there's a right or wrong.
Yeah, well, with a square base, you sort of got to pick, this is the priority side.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. And you do that with the circular base, like to some degree, because often, I'll have a name plaque or a little bit of information or a photograph or something, which is going to be your focal point. But the circular base kind of invites people to start looking around the side and around the back and things like that. Which is why I like that. Yeah.
But it's and again, you can't just get a round base though and have sort of a flat top and sort of just plop something down and that's it. There's that little bit more that sort of goes into it though, isn't there? There's maybe a sign, or a street sign, or it might be a street lamp. There might be it's not just a case of getting a round base and going boom, plunk it on top and you're done.
Well, yeah, there's the vertical aspect to it, right? Like you can, especially like with the outdoor setting type, not a factory floor or a street.
Yeah.
There's the vertical aspect of, you don't want everything to look flat. You want to have some verticality to it. You want to have like different levels of terrain, and
definitely
signs and things help with that as well.
It's like the landscape painters, the artists, and they build the layers, and it sort of gradually builds up in the background just to create that depth in the painting. It's kind of the same idea with the making a diorama or vignette.
I know if you go to the sort of art world, there are sort of rules, like there's the W thing, and there's the other way where you sort of
the 2/3 rule.
2/3 rule when you're looking at a painting and all that type of stuff.
See, the thing is, in a painting, you've got like let's say you're doing a like a landscape painting.
Yeah.
You've always got the sky at the top in the background. Then you've got, say, like you think of what's that guy, the painter, the guy that on TV who had the afro.
Ross.
Bob Ross.
Bob Ross. Yes. Yeah, so he would have like the sky, then he would have the mountains, then he would have the trees in the foreground. You've got a whole, different set of
Tiers,
from the top to the bottom.
Yeah.
But you're already missing that one thing, the sky, when you're dealing with a diorama, right? You have to create some verticality to it with just what you can put on the base.
Yeah, definitely. Look, I think we have to be careful saying "have to," and
Yes.
because you don't
personal
have to.
choice.
But for me, you're right. I think those ones that are scaled and tend to build up in the back tend to work the best. Whether that be a ruined building or a telegraph pole or whatever that might be, they tend to work really well.
I mean, you can also see it in the available diorama set pieces. Like you've got like a building that can form as a backdrop.
Definitely,
like a cafe or an archway.
Definitely, yeah. And what you were saying, Dave, about those the rules, with photography, the 2/3 and the Fibonacci sequence and all that sort of stuff. These are just things that work in photography because they're just the way our brains are programmed. So you could absolutely use those techniques and whatnot with composing a diorama for sure. And it doesn't have to be that obvious and planned because things balance and you can just feel balance, and there's a skill in that to be able to step back, look at it, and just understand balance.
Yeah.
Yes, that's correct.
But I get that. But sometimes too, an off-balance piece done in a certain way can be just as drawing to the eye and empowering as well.
Yes, but I would say that
you
have to understand the rules to know how to break them.
Yeah, I agree. You purposely have a blank space, and that's designed to sort of feed into the story and sort of force the eye to go somewhere else. You know what I'm saying?
You can definitely lead a person around.
Well, thank you. Yes.
By doing that. Yeah. Sure. For sure. But like Julian said, you have to understand the rules to be able to break them somewhat. Or you can just get lucky and snag it.
Yeah, it's much like the way I type. I hunt and peck, so I'm.
You and me both.
I'm pretty sure I'd be the same when it's coming to the understanding the bases and stuff. Yes. So, but also, I mean, when you're weathering too, you've got to have a really deep understanding of the base you're putting down first, because that's going to sort of inform how you're going to weather and where you're modelling the particular armour piece. So if you're doing it in the highlands of Vietnam, it's going to be very reddish sort of clay soil. If you're doing it in Russia in winter, you're going to be looking at sort of dark mud and the snow. The landscape you're producing on your base has to be exactly the same as what you're weathering with the actual model as well to make it all marry up.
Yeah, it's a bit of chicken or egg scenario. Like, yeah, if you're doing a tank in the muddy Russian terrain, I would just paint the tank and weather it, and then I'd think about the base, and it's just obvious it's going to follow suit.
Yep.
So you'd actually do that. So you'd actually build the tank first, and then design the bases to go with it. That's sort of.
Oh yeah, I'm hopeless.
Oh, okay.
With the bases are always an afterthought.
Right. Okay.
Always, yeah, and it's something I really need to improve on, I think. But always, it's just it's like, yeah, I probably should put that on a base, I always struggle to build the bases.
Oh, really?
It's part of the process that I struggle with the most.
Well, what materials do you use
for the actual foundation of the base?
Yeah.
I used to use a great place to go and get your timber bases from is like a trophy shop, because they do those little plaques and whatnot, and you can buy the pre-made timber bases. But recently, I've been using XPS foam, which is an insulation foam. You can get it at some Bunnings, and use the hot wire cutter to cut it.
Yep. That's alrighty. And then you just wrap it with.
And then to dress the edge, I've been using sheet styrene,
All right.
With a double-sided, like a mounting film, literally just roll it around. But because I've got access to digital printers and things like that, that's where I'm doing what Dave was saying about the graphics and the photographs and things, and can incorporate that in on the base. But I've actually just bought some timber veneer. I'm giving that a go for what I'm doing at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
Just on Amazon. I think it's like 0.4 mil thick. Again, just put the mounting film on the back and dress the foam. It looks like a block of timber. It looks amazing.
Mm. So should the we're talking about, I guess, armour here more than sort of anything else, but it leads to sort of other sort of models as well. Is there any hard and fast rules as to whether the model should overhang the base or not overhang the base? I mean, if you've got just trying to think of an armour piece, say a modern piece of armour which has got a super long barrel, like a Leopard 2, for example. You're gonna, if you've got the turret pointed a certain way, it's going to overhang the base. Is that important to consider, or you just don't really?
I think it needs to be considered, but it's just a matter of balance. And I think if you're accommodating a long barrel on a tank and making sure it's sitting still over the base, you're feeding into that dead space kind of zone again. Right. I think it's okay for stuff to overhang. I think it can be quite effective as well. But it's just there's no rule with that, I don't think.
Right. Well, you have to remember that the gun barrel is going to be facing in the direction of a presumed enemy, right? Or at least viewing. Like for example, there are. Yeah, well, I mean, like in photography, there are rules where, generally speaking, you want to create the space in the direction the person is looking at, right? You don't want to have someone facing the very edge of the portrait frame, right? Because it creates like a sort of I'm a locked in kind of feeling. Whereas if you have them viewing across the space, then it looks like they're looking to something, right? And there's a similar sort of aspect to that, right? Like let's say that you've got like a round base, you've got like a street or somewhere in Europe. You want to have the gun barrel facing down that street. You don't want to have it facing a building.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, you're posing it in a realistic way.
Yeah, so these things tend to take care of themselves to some degree. As long as you're not doing something too thoughtless.
Yeah. Going back, Clayton, you were saying you used to go to trophy shops to get those sort of bases. I've done that for some of my rocket subjects. The issue is that they've had to order it in, and when it arrives, it's sort of a bit larger, a bit smaller than I expected. So you can have those mistakes that I've made, and that's the trap for that. If you get a base and it's oh god, that doesn't sort of really suit my needs.
Well, I guess that's the issue. Yeah, you're bound to their catalogue sizes.
Yeah, exactly right.
But there's some really good sort of cottage industry developing around the creation of bases and things like that. Like in America, they've got that bases by Bill that everyone rails about.
Yes.
In Australia,
there's seen some of this stuff. Yeah, it's quite good.
Yeah, in Australia, there's I'm pretty sure he calls himself Jim's Bases or something.
All right, okay.
And he'll do custom stuff. Like he's really very affordable and really easy to deal with. And I've got some really nice bases from him. Please, if I've got that wrong, if it's not Jim's bases, I'll correct it. I'll send you it. But I'm pretty sure that's what he calls himself.
Well, I have to hunt him down and check. Well, Julian's doing a quick check now while we talk.
Yeah. You're looking to it, Julian, are you?
No, I'm not.
All right. You've got me intrigued now because I've given this bloke a rap and it's probably not even his name.
That's all right. We'll hear about it. Dave, it's actually...
I'm on Jim's Bases. There you go.
Figure painters seem to have really had this sort of side of the hobby sort of locked down for quite a while now, in the way they do their presentation with their finished products. And we've got a guy in our model club who's always on point with the way he presents on this beautiful sort of wooden plinth, and then you got this either a bust or it's a full figure that's done. Aircraft, I think aircraft are difficult because of the size, and you either got two ways. You can model it in flight, in which case you can just have it sort of standing there in flight without any references or anything to it, or you do a ground sort of like a ground blur, as if they're sort of flying. Or
Yep.
And I've seen people do other things, like have a photo of, like, if you're doing a Dauntless dive bomber, you get the picture of the Japanese carriers twisting and turning underneath the aircraft as banking over. I think aircraft are a little bit more difficult because you
dead space.
Well, you're showing the model in a three. You posed it in a 3D environment, but it's hard to represent that in a 3D environment on a base. You see what I'm trying to get at?
The thing is, like, the problem with aircraft is that, you've got the figures, right? And they're always going to be absolutely tiny relative to to the size of the plane. So either you start cropping out parts of the plane, or you just accept the fact that you can never see the people, right? And then you've got the dead space problem. So if it's on the ground, you got loads of dead space that you can't get rid of.
No,
it's an unmanageable amount of dead space.
Yeah,
that's why, I guess in flight it's becoming more popular for that sort of stuff.
Yeah, although the Crocker seems to pull it off when he does it.
But he's dedicated.
He manages.
But he's also working in a really small scale.
Yeah, true.
He's a small scale guy.
Yeah, but even 72nd, you're still going to have the same problem in regards to that sort of dead space, like on the airfield, for example.
But being such a small base, it's not so noticeable. When you start working on the larger scales like 48, 32nd, 24.
Oh, that's a good point, man. Yeah.
I think you were kind of talking about displaying an aircraft and then sort of drifted into like the diorama thing.
Yeah.
I think they're two sort of different things.
Yeah.
Also, wasn't there supposed to be an episode about like armor building?
Well, it was, but I was a typical tangent. I'm thinking, well, aircraft. How do you do the armour version of displaying the aircraft? And you've got two choices on the ground in which you're introducing sort of dead space, and then in flight, then you get the problem of, showing it in a 3D environment when you can only have the base in a 2D environment.
Yeah, I think the whole idea of displaying a model like that is to help people, give them some context and help them understand a little bit more about the subject, whether that be scale or how it might have operated or whatnot. So anything that sort of helps people understand what that subject was or how it operated, that's what we're trying to get towards.
Yeah.
And I think planes work really nicely just on nice clean timber bases as well. I don't think you have to dress them up too much in terms of that's why armor's so good, because you can start, well, obviously they're ground-based things and you can start building up the terrain and all that sort of jazz, but sometimes a plane just looks nice just on a timber base.
Yeah, very true.
You know what I find, if you got a plane on a base, they always have to make the base bigger than the plane, because they can't ever have the wings overhang the base, even though they could, but they never do it.
Yeah,
you never see it done. The closest you'll come is, say, maybe if a plane is on a, those turnable ship launching ramps.
Oh, yeah.
Catapult.
Yeah, the catapults. And then they'll have that on a base and they'll have the plane mounted on that, right? And then they don't care about how big the base is. But those are the only times I see that done quite well.
Yes.
The introduction of
dead space.
The introduction of figures with the actual subject you're doing, armour. We'll go back to armour now.
Yes.
Well, number one, I hate doing figures anyway because I'm actually useless at it.
What?
But yeah, I am. Having said that, I've got myself into a group build where I've got to do two figures. So,
tell us a bit more about that, Dave.
Well, there's this crazy little club called the Corner Cutters Modelling Group or Club or whatever, and they always do these silly little lots of little group builds that you've got to comply with by a certain time, and if you don't, you have to either wear a blow-up suit that represents a male organ, or you get an eyebrow shaved off if you don't produce. So anyway.
Anyway.
Is this the one that you built the Harrier for?
Yeah.
And then everyone had theirs was sort of like 80% of the way done kind of thing.
Well, I'll defer to Clayton as to explain the philosophy behind corner cutters. You just got to have it on the table. It doesn't matter if it's finished or not. Is that sort of right?
Well, I mean, you have to make a good attempt at it. And I think to say that 80% finished, that's a bit rough, mate.
Every person I know of who was involved with that, they spoke about their model like, oh yeah, I just couldn't do this, or this completely failed on me, and I was a dog of a kit, and
because it's a group build, and everyone's worried that they're going to be compared to somebody else, so they start making excuses for their models. I could have done this, that. No, there were some great planes on the table. Yeah, sorry to hijack your conversation here, Dave.
That's fine.
No, that's fine. That's fine. So the importance of putting a figure into your armour piece. You can get away quite easily with having. I mean, Ian's done a Stug sort of hiding behind a brick wall without any figures in it.
That's got figures in it.
Has it?
Yeah, it's got a commander.
Oh, okay.
It's got a commander hanging out the top, and there's a dog peeing on a lamppost.
Well, okay. Make a liar out of me. I don't recall seeing them in there. You don't have to have them, but is it imperative that you sort of do at the same time?
Look, it's the human element. These are vehicles occupied, used by humans. So as soon as you put a figure, it completely transforms the medium.
Well, and you immediately get a sense of scale as well.
Exactly.
That's a point. Yeah, I forgot.
I always do it. Every time I do an armour kit, I have to have at least one or two figures with it.
Yeah, I think it makes a big difference. Even just one, just add some character, and like Julian said, that human element, it makes a big difference.
Yeah, I mean, you start putting one figure in the scene, and then you start thinking about, well, this doesn't look quite right. What else do I have to put in there? You have to put other things that the human's using, What are they interacting with? What are they doing, Yeah, and it all flows from there, because once you've added the human element, then you've got to bring in that human element to its surroundings,
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, there's something attractive about even just having a model tank with some guy sort of looking into the distance. It doesn't even, you don't have to overcomplicate it. It's just that human element and adding that sense of scale. That's what I love about it.
Yeah.
But you're right, Julian. It does sort of snowball as well. You put one and then another one, and then you have to do the stowage and.
Yeah, let's say you've got a guy standing beside a tank. It's like, oh, why is he standing beside the tank? Well, is he looking at something? Is he looking at the map? Or is he there to talk to somebody?
Yeah.
Yeah, the positioning and the reason for him being there has to be considered, does it not?
Yeah.
Most of the decent figures that are out there now are kind of sculpted in a way that they're telling a story anyway. They're not just, like with their pose or, the way they're looking or the way they're pointing. Everyone loves a pointing figure, right?
Yes.
I don't think you have to. I don't think you have to put a figure on a model, on a base to make it a good model. But I enjoy doing it. That human element.
Well, I mean, as soon as you put the human on the base, it tells the story, right?
For sure.
You see, doing figures is like doing cars for me. I drive a car every day, so it's boring. I see humans every day, so I find them boring, so I don't want to do one.
That feels like a cop-out, Dave.
I was about to say the same thing. That is the weakest excuse I've ever heard. Sir, that is so
Who
weak.
do you think you're talking to around here?
There's nothing armour modelers like better than complaining about their figure painting skills. I can't paint. And then all of a sudden, they'll produce something. It's like, oh, God, I wish I could do that.
Yeah.
I was just trying to slip under the barbed wire by saying that. Obviously, I got...
Mate, we saw through you.
Snorby.
No, we just saw through you, Dave.
Oh, giddy ass.
Well, I mean, one thing that excuse that I know modelers make all the time is the one where they come up with a reason why they can't do something, like, oh, there's no figure that's doing this pose, so I can't do that. And it's like, well,
if you look hard enough, you'll find it.
It's like you could make that figure.
You cut the figure up, don't
Yeah,
you?
you can. You can cut the figure up. You just don't want to because you don't. You just want to be a bit lazy about it.
Or you think you're not quite up to the skill level.
Yeah, but I mean,
because cutting up a figure is a fair bit of work. You can't just like if a person say you want to like bend a leg,
right?
You can't just like cut it at the knee and then join it.
Well, you got to remove the whole knee.
You've got to remove parts of what you cut, then you got to add parts because otherwise it just doesn't look right.
Yeah, but there are tutorials for all of this, and you know the main hills that you have to get over. You have to go out and you have to buy some brass or whatever to bridge the
pin it.
Yeah, to pin it, and then you got to
get some sculpty.
You got to get some sculpty sort of stuff to means you have to go out, you have to go and buy it, and then you have to break it open and start getting used to it. You have to try.
That's right.
You have to get out of your comfort zone.
You have to
try something new.
You have to make those first steps.
Yeah, but I mean that's everyone gets comfortable with the plastic, but once they start dealing with other materials and things, it's, I don't know what that's all about.
Yeah, but I think as Clayton said earlier, there's just so much available now with figures. Like even some of these 3D printed figures you can get now, it's just freaking amazing. I got some that I bought recently, and they just leave everything for dead.
You know what? I've seen a few because there'll be people who do like progress updates on their aircraft or whatever, and they'll pose the exact same figure. They've got this one figure that's 3D, right? And they'll pose it next to their plane every time they post a photo of it. And it works. Yeah. It's a great trick to do, right?
Yeah.
And especially if it's a 3D scanned person, 3D printed, right? It looks extremely realistic without any kind of shading or anything that you would normally employ on a stylized figure.
Yes.
Right? And so you can get away with just like painting the face just all one color of flesh tone,
Really?
You can. Because the shape does such a good job. And the guy's wearing a cap and all that sort of crap anyway. Right? So you can barely see his face to begin with. And they just stand this character next to it. They'll put a palette there. That's the classic.
Spoken like a true automotive modeler.
Yes,
yeah.
Exactly right.
But I see aircraft modelers and armor modelers do this trick all the time. Right? It's especially like in the sort of influencer space, where you've got people who are posting things on Instagram once a week because they've got to meet their time schedules and all this sort of crap that they're playing the mini game of. That's what they do. These are the tricks that they do.
Well, I'd never get a 3D scan done of myself. I'd break the machine, I think.
You would
need a bigger build plate.
Yeah.
You and me both. I think we should stop putting the slipper into these poor armor modelers because our skill set is I think, and I'll probably get a little bit of hate for it, but I think it's a bit broader than some of the other genres, just in terms of. Putting a base together is a completely different animal to building a model of a tank.
Yes,
that's correct.
And painting a figure is a completely different animal to all of those things, But as armor models, we have to combine all those things and put them together and make them look like they all fit.
Yes, I've often said this before in the past, but you can't, even if you're particularly skilled in one of those aspects, you kind of have to lower that down to match the other two. Because otherwise, you get like this lopsided thing where it's like you've drawn, that classic sort of artist thing where you've drawn one eye and it's really hyper detailed, and then the rest of the face looks kind of like a stick figure. You can't have it that way. You have to blend them all together to a similar setting.
Or just get better at the other things.
That's it. Yeah. Well, that should be your incentive to get better at the other things.
Exactly.
It's just repetition. It's literally repetition and doing it over and over and over.
Yes, I see. You're quoting Arnold Schwarzenegger there. It's just reps.
Yeah.
Everything in life is just reps.
The 10,000 hour rule.
Like, that's true.
Yeah, the 10,000 hour rule. So once you do that, you can become an absolute master at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, I kind of get what you're saying. You're going to sort of be master of sort of three disciplines to sort of do the armor side of things as well. But I think if you're coming from different sort of genres as well, you bring different sort of skills and different outlooks to it as well. Are you not?
Oh, absolutely,
yeah.
For sure.
Yes.
For sure. Yeah,
except for real space modelers, I don't know how to do something one way.
Well, now that we got successful boosters that can return to Earth and relaunch again, all the space models are going to have to sort of get their weathering pallets up and running now, because some of those Falcon 9s on their 12th, 13th, 14th launch, they're looking pretty ratty by the time they're going around again.
Time for you to get out of real space then, isn't it, Dave?
Geez, Julian, you're on form this morning. God.
Did you not feed him adequately this morning?
No,
Dave?
you fed me too much.
Oh, there you go.
Michelle cooked some pancakes this morning because the boys have decided they
all
like
the
pancakes.
sugar
And so he's overdosed on sugar.
His blood sugar's spiking.
Yep.
I'm doing my best to cut out sugar. So yeah, this is the first I've had for a while. That Canadian maple syrup.
Now, I want to touch on, I think we need to touch on this, is that the difference between, so you put your tank on your base of choice. The question then sort of devolves, are you aiming to do it as a vignette, or are you doing it as a diorama, and what's the difference between the two? Do you have to have any different sort of thought patterns? My understanding of a vignette...
Every time the subject of vignette and diorama crops up, someone has to ask, what's the difference?
Okay, this is my understanding of difference. The difference between a diorama and a vignette. A vignette is
a spotlight on a specific vehicle.
From a specific angle / moment in time, whereas a diorama...
tells a story.
I wish I'd have known that question was coming. I would have prepared something. But I find, to answer that question, I find that this, coming back to that circular base, that lends itself to more of a diorama sort of style of a thing.
Yes.
Something going on every angle, whereas if I was going to do something from a fixed point, I'd probably be more inclined to use square edges.
Yes. I mean, and I'm thinking of like a vignette of a locomotive, a steam locomotive on a track, and the locomotive has been sliced, so you're only showing part of it, and it fits on this nice rectangle / sort of square base. That to me is a vignette.
Yeah. Oh, look. I mean, we could debate this forever.
Oh, we could. We could.
It's Look, at the end of the day, I don't think it matters. I think it's just a display. It's about which table you put it on when you go to the show.
Yes.
Well, that's the confusing part, which I guess you got to sort of consult with the show's rules.
It's kind of like a truth is in the eye of the beholder, right? So just make what you want to make, and then when you turn up to the show, let someone else decide for you.
Yeah, that's true.
Sound idea. Yeah.
But okay, so you're not interested. Let's say there's models out there, and I'm sure there's hundreds of them, thousands, dare I say, tens of thousands, who are only interested in just doing the actual model itself. How do you then show the model in its light without just having it on like nothing, like just plunk it on the table? Is there a way you can do that without going into the depths of adding terrain or
Well, you don't have a choice then, do you?
I mean, yeah, you've
I think you do.
You pretty much answered your own question.
No, I haven't.
Look, that used to be me. The thought of making, and it still does, really, doing the bases. I have to force myself to do it every time. It's very uncomfortable for me in working in that space.
Well, actually, I've just found an answer to my sort of question. I've just reached out, and our good friend, of course, Stuart. He when he does his armour pieces, it's mounted on just a black plinth, and it's just got the name of the subject there.
Yep.
And that works just as well as
definitely.
Yeah. But I do
find
by putting a base and maybe a little bit of scene around it, it brings it more alive.
I think you're showing it in its element. Is that a way?
To me, it brings it alive.
Yeah.
You know what? If you just want a low effort base, when I say low effort, I mean like you still want to put a
stick it on the box top.
I mean, like, look, I would say that you try to avoid a completely flat horizontal surface, add a little bit of incline to it in some direction, any direction you care to put it on. And then throw some basing materials on there, some muddy type stuff. And, you can get those little tufts of grass, you just buy one of those packs and then just throw a few of those around.
I don't know. I think there's bases you can use that will display and show off the model without having to go to that next step and do like terrain stuff. And let's have a think about when you go to a museum how they display some of their subjects in a museum.
What, they just park it on the floor?
Well, no, it'll be like on a you idiot.
Well, that's what they do. It's a museum.
He's got a point.
It'll be like models within museums. Okay, it'll be
what
they might have
a case.
No. Did you guys definitely had too much sugar or something this morning in the breakfast? You can put it on like a glass base, like a glass square, and that enhances and highlights the model.
Why glass?
Well, because it's pristine, and it forces you to look at nothing but the model itself. Your eyes not being distracted by anything else.
I think there's sorry, Julian. I think there's beauty in a fully weathered, decked out tank sitting on a clean base.
Yes.
I think that's unreal. And I think that feeds into what you were just saying then about something sitting on like a glass plinth or something.
Yeah.
And you were just drawn straight into it.
Yes.
No,
yes.
I definitely do find beauty in that. I think that's really, I can't come up with a better word, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree with what you're saying.
Really attractive, yeah.
But what we're talking about, I mean, both are just as attractive and interesting in their own ways. One just requires you to take a further step and do it in such a way that it's, as we said earlier on, you haven't got dead space and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think there's any right or wrong.
No.
You've just got to make your models how you want to. You're the one that's going to look at them more than anyone else.
That's true.
And I guess
in your display case. So.
And the best way of doing this is looking at other people, what they've done to seek inspiration from them as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, absolutely. Market research.
Yeah. I mean, there's some fantastic YouTube channels out there that you can go and have a look at. Workbench Hobbies on YouTube.
Well, speaking of YouTube, I've been noticing Stu's coffee cup there on the desk.
Oh.
I'm going. Yeah.
Well, you want to send us some mugs?
Oh dear, I'm going to have to lift my marketing game up, aren't I?
Well, it's funny. Just prior to talk about lifting your marketing game, there's something else you're going to crack on with. We just went to your Facebook page prior to sort of coming on the show, and you've only updated it twice since August.
You looking at the right one?
Yeah.
No, you must be looking at the old one.
No. How many Facebook pages have you got?
I find it. Yeah, actually, that's I don't know. Hang on, let me fact check you here. Okay, so I did one 3 days ago.
Yes.
Then I did one on the 28th of November, 27th of November, 22nd of November, 19th. What are you looking at, Dave? Do you even know the channel?
I do. I've got the picture of your Galleria airbrush, and the next one is your Harrier. The next one, I didn't see that one.
Yeah, see,
Dave. Last review, the modelling.
Dave.
Get a man bloody crucified. But it's the Facebook side of things. I find that I find it because I've got the Patreon page as well. So you want to sort of save exclusive and content for that community. It's a balance. It's always a balancing act. Just trying to.
Plus, you want to find time to model.
Well, yeah.
Exactly right.
Yes.
No, we went down the track of having some, stuff like T-shirts and mugs and all that, and it wasn't a good experience. So
it wasn't.
No. So now my T-shirts are only exclusive for those who win on our Patreon Wheel of Fortune as such.
What was the bad experience with that?
The bad experience was that I wasn't happy with the quality of the stuff with the particular, and I didn't have any control over the quality. And
yes.
I know that the guys from Plastic Model Mojo hit the same issue a while ago, and they've just gone out to a new shop, I think. But here's the thing: I don't. I mean, it's enough that we got to the Patreon supporters who are wonderful enough to support us. I don't want to take that next step and feel like I'm trying to, squeeze a little bit more milk out of a cow as such. I'm just quite happy where we are.
Well, I mean, if you were to lift the quality, you're then paying a lot more money.
And
right?
that's the other thing I was conscious on. To have a really good quality T-shirt, it was about $35, $40.
It gets out of hand pretty quickly.
Yeah,
and just the trial and error of it. Eats money, right?
Yep. Anyway,
and
so
but people like to show support for what you're doing as well.
Oh, they do, and we've got our stickers that they can have, so that's not an issue, and they can plaster them everywhere, and I'm quite happy to travel around the world and see a OTB sticker sort of plastered on. Hello, you're entering France now, or entering Netherlands, or something.
Also,
like that.
You have to consider like the kind of things that modelers want to put their money towards.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's not the same as say other fandoms and interests where you can pump out thousands of T-shirts a month and people will buy them.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, we had some beer glasses. I think I've still got maybe one or two left that we used to give to our people who came to the studio, and
I don't remember getting one of those.
Maybe I ran out of one.
We didn't have very many, that's for sure.
Yeah. And it was just an experiment, and
I think we had less than 5 or something. Like it was not many at all.
And there's a worry. Okay, if you're going to give it to people who listen to the show, how are you going to ship them? And and I was doing my own shipping and all that, and it was just a minefield. I don't know. And there hasn't been that great demand. I can't say that a lot of our people have written in. I've had one or two ask how I get a T-shirt, and so I've sort of set them straight on that. And I think it makes it a bit more special too if we just leave it for the Wheel of Fortune as well. Get a T-shirt. Anyway. That's my thought.
We're digressing.
Sorry.
We are digressing. I want to have a quick chat about your latest video that just dropped. The Edelweiss.
Yes.
Right, okay.
Watched that last night. That's pretty cool build.
I'd never seen that model before either. I mean, it's brilliant.
Yeah, that's the 4th time I've built that model. Every time I build it, someone else reaches out and asks me, to build them one. So... yeah,
it's a popular subject.
Well, yeah, and it's extremely difficult to find. But I built that 12 months ago. I built that this time last year, and it was just sitting there in the archives. And I had a different concept for the video, and I thought, look, let's just get it out. But yeah, so no, that one went to America.
Oh, really? Well done.
That's terrific. Yeah. And an interesting little subject too. I don't recall ever seeing that before anywhere else. So I was quite intrigued.
Zoki Mirror made it. Yeah, Zoki Mirror made it. It's 35th scale. It's a tank from a computer game franchise called Valkyria Chronicles. If that means anything to anyone, doesn't mean
a little bit. I know a little bit of it, and I think I even own one of the games, but I only picked that up on sale for like $2 or something. Yeah, I mean, it was just one of those things. Like, I'll buy that. And
apparently, it's got a real cult-like following. The game, and that model is very hard to find, and they're charging $300, $400 for it on eBay.
Whoa!
Now, so,
jeez.
Yeah.
It's a very cool looking tank.
It's interesting. Yeah,
it's very avant-garde, I think.
Well, its roots are firmly in 1 foot in a Panzer III kind of design. It's the chassis sort of style, but it's interesting. It's something different. You don't often get the opportunity to paint with colours like those and whatnot.
And the name Edelweiss, and along the side, the painting and the decals along the side, you got the sort of a very Germanic sort of feel to it as well.
I found it very Austrian.
Austrian Germanic feel, yeah.
I found it very Austrian.
Or even Swedish, I guess. Not Swedish, Swiss.
Yes.
Sort of up in the hills and a bit of yodeling and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's that kind of Japanese style where they've sort of made up their own sort of fantasy version of European Renaissance era kind of stuff going on. A little dash of steampunk and things.
What's that one, Panzer Girls, where they all sort of run around different coloured Panzers and...
Yeah. Let's not mention that one.
I would have done that very differently had that have been for me. But yeah, when you build to a brief, it's kind of it's a little bit restrictive. But
it is, yeah.
That's right, yeah. Commission building.
Plus, you're always on the time frame, and
I don't think I'll be doing that anymore.
I gave up doing commission builds years ago.
I've done 2 now, but the second one I did, it wasn't a commission build. We had a guy walk into our model club with a, I want to say 1/44th scale Apollo rocket, a Saturn rocket, and he just wanted it built because he couldn't build anymore. And I took it on, and it was an Airfix kit. And it was a shocking kit. Oh my God, it was the old Airfix kit. But I really enjoyed it. I just sort of banged it out in about nearly nearly 2 weeks. Just knocked it out of the park, and it was great.
Don't you just stick 2 halves of the rocket together? Isn't that it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Clearly, you have not had a look at the old Airfix of Saturn rockets.
Yeah. How many parts are they?
Shockers. It's not the parts. It's, all the strengthening struts along the side. Well, there's overshots and undershots on the print, and you've got it was just a dog's breakfast.
Could be worse, Dave. You might have to build a Japanese drift car or something.
Don't even go there. It's just sucking all my mojo right out of me. And in fact, I broke out a rocket to start building the other day because I've reached that point where it's killing me. I don't understand why Julian didn't get it. I do understand why Julian didn't get it, and it's not fair. But anyway,
well, it's just a timing thing, right?
Yeah, I know. And here's the thing, because Stuart from Canada and myself are pretty much the 2 guys who came up with the concept of the Musaru Cup. I guess I could change the rules. I could be like a politician and just go, no, I'm going to do it this way now. But
no,
I thought, no, I can't be like that. I've got to be a little bit more.
I think it'd be good to, pick your strongest. It's like you want to pick your strongest person for that designated build for that job.
Yeah, I know.
Jeez, Dave would have a holiday every time, wouldn't he?
Oh, good on you.
That's good.
Oh, God, these guys. They're burning me.
Dave.
Yeah. So what's coming up on the channel? Anything exciting or anything you want to sort of sneak peeks or you want to sort of let us know about?
I've got so many loose ends I need to tidy up because I'm like you with that rocket build. Literally something will start to bore me, so I'll have to start something else. So I've got about 5 or 6 things on the go. I actually don't know. I'll do a couple of videos like in the lead up to Christmas.
Cool.
And then I'll have a break for a few weeks. So I just need to clear my head and hopefully get a bit of bench time and some decent kind of build time. Next year, possibly SMC again if all goes to plan, and hopefully I'll be going to the Malaysia show as well.
Mm. So, any chance of seeing you build a ship?
You know what? What? Okay. I'm one of these armour builders that doesn't know the difference between a boat and a ship. So what's the a boat fits on the ship?
A boat goes in the ship, but a ship can't go on a boat.
I saw one of the coolest releases I've ever seen. In fact, it was a slip more than a release. I don't know if you guys saw it, but AK Interactive released a book on US armour in Vietnam, like a modelling book.
All right, yep.
There was a page from Gecko Models, like an advertising page with all their upcoming kits. And down the bottom, there was a 35th scale Swift boat.
Yep.
All right,
Vietnam era Swift boat. Does that count?
It does.
It does.
Cool. Yeah.
You know what's even cooler than the Swift boats is the big monitors that they used to have on the rivers. And these are... So a monitor, it's a larger size, I want to call it boat. It's almost bordering on barge, I guess, to a certain degree. And they had flamethrowers on it and multiple machine guns, and it's something out of if you didn't know any better,
post-apocalyptic.
Yeah, you think it's very punkish post-apocalyptic type stuff. And I don't know. There's a couple of models of them you can get, and they're very sort of hard to come by. But I remember seeing one recently, and it was just done so well. It looked absolutely awesome. It's basically a floating armor thing. It was really, really cool. And I think that'd probably be more in your wheelhouse than, say, even the Swift boat, if you saw one of those.
Maybe he needs to work up his way up to it by putting a tank on a barge.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Does the U-boat count, or does that not count?
Yeah,
U-boats count. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll definitely build a U-boat. That's probably the one to do before I die kind of models.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What scale would you go?
I've got the 72nd scale premium edition. Nice. With all the decks and it's huge. Yeah. But I remember seeing Chris Walker made one, and it just completely blew me away. And this is years ago, right? And I've just always had it in my head, and I've always wanted to go there and have a go at it. So definitely 100% I'll be building one of those.
Cool.
So if that counts, then to answer your question,
sure.
Ian,
yeah, that counts.
Looking forward to seeing that one.
I think that's his opus build.
Yeah, that'd go over a fair few episodes.
There's a few. The Fine Molds Millennium Falcon's probably on that list as well.
Oh yeah. If you can find one to buy.
Oh, I've got them. So.
Okay. Well,
I hear that. I've got them.
They re-released it. I don't know. It's probably 10 years ago now, and I couldn't believe it. HobbyLink Japan had heaps, so I bought 3.
What? 3?
3.
Yeah, and they were like $100 or $120 or something crazy. And
give them away.
I had to check my eyes, and it's like in stock, and this can't be right. Yeah. Anyway, sure enough, it was.
So you bought 3 10 years ago. So that was in case you made mistakes when you were building them back in those days, or
no? It was I was one of those horrible modelers that was trying to fund my retirement, and I thought, well, I'll grab. Anyway, I've sold one. I felt bad with them sitting in there, and people were asking for them, and I had a moment of weakness, and I reached out to a guy who was asking, and anyway, made a deal with him, and he got the kit. It was a reasonable price. He was a nice bloke. So
sounds good.
Yeah, I'm the same. If there's something sitting in the mustache, I know I'm not going to build. No point me hang on to it. Rather see it go to somebody else who wants to buy it or wants to build it, I should say.
Exactly.
So all exactly. Good. I think that sort of brings us about to the end of it. For those people who I can't fathom they wouldn't know, but for those people who don't know where to find you, Clayton, where can they go?
YouTube's probably the best one because apparently I neglect my Facebook page. Workbench Hobbies.
Hang on, in my own defence, I had both of these guys sitting here, and didn't you just see it was one in August and one in November?
No, because you didn't click on the full link.
Is that what I did wrong? All right. Sorry, Clayton. Go ahead, mate.
Workbench Hobbies on YouTube, and obviously Workbench Hobbies on the Facebook page. I'm actually that's one thing I'm looking at doing next year is rebuilding the website. I had a website for a long time, and for one reason or another let it go. But I think we'll look to get the web presence back next year. But yeah, they're the best places. YouTube's obviously I'm posting there all the time on the community, and that community's growing like literally every hour. It's just ticking over. It's quite amazing. It's a slow burn, but it's quite amazing. Yeah. I've been very lucky, and people have been very generous, and
a thought just popped into my head. So, have you got like a lot of stuff that you've shot, a lot of video that you've shot, but you haven't sort of either narrated it or sort of put it together to put out? It's just sort of sitting there on the shelf, ready to be pulled off and used at a later date.
So much.
Yeah.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Yeah, so much.
Maybe if you get a little bit more successful, you can get a producer in to sort of give you a hand.
Well, possibly. Possibly. I've actually got Karen, my beautiful wife Karen, has come on board to actually help with a lot of stuff with the business side of things. Becoming a business, really, at the end of the day. And every day we get people trying to send us stuff, and can you look at this? Can you look at this? And it's getting quite difficult to manage. Field or because I want to get back to everyone, obviously, but it's getting quite difficult to manage that side of things.
Well, that with your full-time work as well, it's and you're gallivanting around the world and all the rest of it. It's getting pretty difficult, isn't it?
I've been very lucky. It's been a very lucky year this year.
It definitely looks like it.
But definitely in terms of outsourcing, some of the. I like being hands-on with the editing, though. I'm sort of a bit of a control freak with things like that, and I actually enjoy the process.
Yeah.
But no, I've got a few ideas for the website, and we're working with there's another fella I'm working with who's looking at setting up a space for kids to go and model in.
Oh, wow.
Similar to what is it Rob in US? Sorry, excuse my ignorance. What did he open, the model box or something?
Yes.
Yeah,
the model shop.
Yeah. Rob Booth.
Yeah, similar sort of idea.
Yeah.
This has kind of been in the workings for maybe 12 months, and so I'm watching what he's doing with interest, because I've got a mate of mine looking to do a similar thing in a different country, mind you, but I'm sort of going to help him do that as well.
Oh, very cool.
The concept that Rob sort of picked up and doing is just sensational, and a place where you can get, sort of rock around and buy, build. You can do your painting there. You can leave your model there and sort of go home, put it in a locker, and the only thing missing is a bar, really, and it'd be a perfect sort of spot to go to.
This concept that this mate of mine's putting together it's not for profit. It's purely, his motivation is to get people off, the kids off, gaming consoles and phones and things like that, and get them building models. And it's going to happen. Like, it's going to happen. And I'm looking forward to sharing that journey, but I'm being a little bit reserved because it's still in the workings. But there's some exciting times for sure.
Oh, definitely be keen to sort of follow up on that once you get a bit more info. So
absolutely, absolutely.
Wonderful. All right, mate. Well, thanks very much for joining us on the show, for taking away your valuable time from your Saturday. And
no, that's all right. I'm a bit dusty this morning. It's the the Christmas party period.
Yes.
Geez, you're dusty. I had 2 workplace Christmases to go to, my work and then my wife's work last night. I've got these 2 clowns in the studio with me this morning. I've got a wedding this afternoon, and I'm going to bring that drawbridge up tomorrow so nobody can get into the house. We're just going to lock ourselves away for Sunday and not do anything, I think.
Well, it's 40 degrees up here today, so
what?
Myself away as well.
Yeah, good idea.
Oh my God,
40 degrees. Yeah, it's a bit of a warm one.
Yeah, it is. All right, mate. Thanks very much for being on the show. Don't forget, check out Clayton at Workbench Hobbies on YouTube and Facebook. Thanks very much, mate.
No, my pleasure. Thanks for having me. Anytime.
As always, it's always good to catch up with our mates, and
definitely
count Clayton as a mate, believe it or not. And
no, he's a good bloke.
He is. He's a wonderful guy, and I've got nothing but admiration to watch how his channel has grown over the years. Remember the time he came in the studio many years ago?
That was a while ago now, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, I remember that.
That was a lot of fun. So hopefully next time he's down this part of the world, we'll have to
bring him in.
Get him in person.
Yeah, free feed.
Well, he's been here once before. He probably doesn't need to come here again.
Yeah, he can come again.
Yeah, he can come again.
I mean, if he wants to come again, he can come. He's more than welcome, right? But I just doubt he will. He's already been here once. He's seen what the walls look like.
People.
He sees us every year at ACT anyway.
People beat a path to get to this place, to the studio. Let me tell you.
Well, that's because of the traffic, yeah.
Very true. Very, very true, mate.
Speaking of which, there's all that traffic, all that roadworks
down
the road. I mean, I suppose it'll be better once it's all
done. We'll miss it because we go left anyway.
Yeah, I suppose.
This is our second last episode for the year. We've got one more coming up
on the 27th.
27th of December. That'll be our last for the year. And then we rock into next year, which is our...
January's off.
Yeah, we'll be off for all of January because I'm travelling overseas. Might be a couple of small things I might just have there just to drop, just to keep the people happy while we're away. But by and large, we won't be back together until February. But we'll talk more about that in the next show.
Yep.
Gents.
Adios, everybody.
Okay. Julian?
Yeah. Merry Christmas.
No. Yes.
Yes. Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, shall I say?
Yep. No, not New Year because we'll
be back before the New Year.
Yes.
So everybody have a wonderful new Christmas. Hope that in your stocking you get everything that you dream and desire.
Yep.
Just leave it at that, shall we?
Yes, we will.
All right, guys. Catch you later.
Bye.
Earlier on in the conversation with Clayton, we were talking about the model box, and Stan Spooner is actually the chap and brains behind that whole thing. So go check out the Model Box on Facebook. As always, if you're looking for some more podcasts to do with modelling, go check out modelpodcasts.com. It's a listing of all the fantastic other shows you can go and check out about our beautiful hobby of modelling. Thanks very much, guys. We'll be back in a fortnight.